Meek Mill used to be a street rapper from Philly who made it big against all odds. He did time in prison more than once, but still dropped hit songs that topped the charts. But then came that embarrassing loss to Drake, followed by messy issues. With his label Maybach Music Group, by 2024, his once fast-rising career was now a fight just to stay in the game. And just when it looked like things couldn't get worse for Meek, the Diddy scandal exploded. Singer Cassie accused hip-hop legend Sean Diddy Combs of abusing her for over 10 years. They had been in a long relationship, but in a lawsuit revealed. Today, Cassie claimed there was a pattern of control, drugs, and disturbing encounters. Soon, lawsuits began crashing down on Diddy, accusing him of everything from trafficking to physical assault, and right in the middle of all this legal chaos, Diddy's ex-producer Rodney Jones, who worked closely with him for over a year, dropped maybe the most shocking lawsuit of them all. It was a 73-page legal bomb that shook hip-hop to its core, and it included one jaw-dropping detail in the footnotes, hinting that Diddy may have had a relationship with the Philly rapper. Hold up, did y'all think Diddy was done? The signs had been there, and online detectives quickly connected the dots straight to Meek Mill's front door. As more accusations hit Diddy, the public started taking a second look at his friendship with Meek Mill. People began digging, and suddenly the clues that seemed small before were now too obvious to ignore. Hey, what's up, King? You're doing it, man? You earned this, Daddy? You're working hard. I'm proud of you. I love you. So today, we're diving into the strange and suspicious bond between Meek Mill and Diddy, to find out if they were really just industry buddies and mentor-mentee, like they claimed, or if something deeper, maybe even romantic, was going on behind the scenes. Or right in front of us. Cassie-real name Cassandra Ventura has now. Suitor X Sean Combs. Producer Lil Rod has also accused Diddy of assault, sharing a file full of disturbing images. One detail stood out. Mr. Combs allegedly told Mr. Jones he had sex with a rapper named Blacked Out, a Philadelphia rapper who once dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek. We were joking around at Michael Rubin's place. If you don't go on. Twitter threatening to kill Lil Rod, shoot up his block, or blow up his mama's house. This lawsuit is basically saying you and Diddy were hooking up. What? Man, it's hard to picture stuff like this happening to a gangster rapper. Like Meek. You're doing it, man. You earned it, Daddy. You're working hard. I love you. But once a man gives up his manhood, no one ever seems to bounce back. All those people who went to Puffy's parties, all those people who did wild things thinking there'd never be a price to pay. Do you think there are a lot of secretly gay men in the industry? I don't know, Queen. We don't know about any of that. Okay, because I do. See, Sean Diddy Combs has always played the role of hip-hop's gatekeeper. He's the big boss who could make or break your career with just one nod. So for young rappers, getting noticed by Diddy was like winning the golden ticket. Meant access to powerful rooms, top people, and a kind of mentorship money couldn't buy. And for Meek Mill, a street rapper, just out of prison on gun and drug charges, Diddy might have looked like the perfect bridge from the block to the boardroom. He needed someone to back him, not in the jail sense, but to guide him. And the timing couldn't have been better for Meek. At that point, Meek wasn't a national name yet. He'd spent years grinding on mixtapes, stuck in legal troubles that could have ended everything before it began. His 2008 arrest for drugs and guns left him on probation for nearly a decade, which made it harder to get ahead. That made industry connections even more important. Tesly ones that could clean up his street image, most likely. Meek met Diddy after signing to Rick Ross's Maybach Music Group in 2011. Diddy and Ross were already in the same circles. And this deal brought Meek close to hip-hop's biggest players. What made this bond powerful wasn't just business, it was the status it gave. Diddy wasn't just rich. He stood for black success in an industry that had used up so many young artists. So for Meek, who had seen so many guys from his hood fall into the trap, linking with Diddy felt like real proof that he had escaped. As Meek climbed the ranks with Maybach, Diddy's interest in him only grew stronger. That interest thickened, deepened, and got more intense with time. At the same time, Meek, still rough around the edges, but now with a clear goal, probably saw Diddy as the OG, could teach him how to flip street clout into lasting wealth. They started appearing at events together, like the Live Beach Party in 2013 and the Time Warner Cable After Party in 2014. These early public hangouts set a pattern that would continue for years. Most celebrities take a picture together and go their separate ways. But Meek and Diddy actually seemed to enjoy being around each other in 2015. Meek took a big step updating Nicki Minaj, one of the biggest stars in pop and rap. That same year, he dropped his second album, Dreams Worth More Than Money, which gave him his first #1 and a Billboard award. Even as his star rose, Meek stayed close with Diddy, both personally and professionally. While he and Nicki looked like music's newest power couple, Diddy stayed in their circle like a proud father at graduation. Meek and Diddy even hit the studio together for Cold Hearted. On Meek's hit album, the track made their mentor-student bond official for everyone to hear, with Meek shouting out Diddy along with Jay-Z and Birdman. But in January 2017, Meek and Nicki broke up, marking one of his biggest public losses. And right after that, his bond with Diddy got even stronger. It was like he traded one powerful relationship for another. Diddy helped Meek bounce back from the heartbreak. They were seen together everywhere, partying in VIP, chilling by pools and showing up at events. Below, to the world, they looked like two hustlers who made it, one from the crack era, one from the trap, eerie, lifting each other up. It's your birthday. But what most people didn't realize back then was how unusual this closeness was, especially in the world of hip-hop. In street life, mentorship is common in the industry, but there are usually lines you don't cross. Yet Diddy and Meek were spending a lot of personal time together, showing up to each other's private events constantly. It made their bond feel more personal than business. On paper, it looked like a perfect friendship. But in April 2019, the first real clue dropped that something deeper might have been going on. At Coachella that year, Meek and Diddy arrived wearing matching outfits at first. It just seemed like a fashion fluke. But later it would be labeled Exhibit A in the court of public opinion. The image of them dressed the same went viral. Fast. People laughed, made jokes, threw some side-eye, but nothing too serious. Just two rich guys with the same stylist, who maybe hugged a little too long, but that wasn't a one-time thing. Just 1 month later, in May 2019, a new video came out from what looked like a chill hangout at one of Diddy's places. In the clip, Meek is seen taking a dip in Diddy's pool. It looked harmless at first, until Diddy started talking. "Man, you doing it? You deserve it, Daddy. You're working hard. I'm proud of you. I love you." That choice of words, especially calling Meek Daddy, made a lot of people raise their eyebrows. It didn't sound like something a mentor usually says to a student, or something one straight man says to another, like the matching outfits. This clip quickly made it onto blogs and gossip pages. People joked, they teased, but again, it faded into the internet's forgotten vault. At the time, no one knew that these little moments would later look very different in a darker light. By the 2020s, Diddy was sitting comfortably on his empire, rich, powerful, and covered in baby oil, playing kingmaker in the rap world. His parties were still the stuff of legends. Getting invited meant you were truly at the top. And there was a lot of top. Mainstream media kept praising Diddy's billion-dollar business moves. Online forums like Lipstick Alley and Reddit were running a different kind of news cycle. These communities were made up of internet detectives who noticed patterns way before the public did. They gathered photo evidence, analyzed tweets and videos, and connected dots that the big outlets ignored or avoided. Rumors about Diddy's sexuality had been floating in those spaces for years. From his party guest lists to the young artists he mentored, users saw signs they believed meant something more. Asterisk. People started building theories around Meek and Diddy's odd friendship. Some hinted at hidden sexualities. Others believed Meek and Diddy were actually lovers in a full-blown relationship, and it wasn't just anonymous users online. In 2022, Nicki Minaj, who dated Meek for 3 years between 2015 and 2017, went live on Instagram with Soulja Boy. During that live, she dropped a line that made people's ears perk up. Do you think there are a lot of undercover brothers in the industry? Oh no, Queen. We don't know about that. Okay, because I do. At the time, no one knew who she meant. But later, many believed she might have been talking about Meek and Diddy. Back then, folks thought Nicki was just stirring the pot as usual. But her words suddenly hit different. While the gossip buzzed online, Meek kept linking up with Diddy publicly. He was still going to Diddy's events and letting the mogul play the big bro role in his career, maybe more than that. If Meek had heard the rumors, he didn't seem worried. Whether he didn't believe they'd go mainstream or just didn't care, it's hard to say. But it's clear that he chose to stay close to Diddy. And looking back now, that might have been the worst decision of his career. But Meek wouldn't see just how bad it could get. Until February 2024, that's when everything came crashing down. In early 2024, security footage surfaced online showing Diddy attacking his ex-girlfriend, Cassie, in a hotel hallway back in 2016. This video backed up the serious claims Cassie had already made in a lawsuit. Her lawsuit didn't just open the door for legal trouble, changed how people saw Diddy. For decades, he had kept a clean public image as a smart businessman and cultural leader. Any bad stories about him were brushed off as gossip, but the level of detail in Cassie's lawsuit combined with the shocking footage created the perfect storm. It made things people once thought were impossible now seem believable. Her case gave other victims the courage to speak up, starting a wave of new lawsuits that Diddy couldn't stop. By the end of 2023, 3 more lawsuits hit Diddy hard. Each one had shocking claims that made people's jaws drop, but not in a good way. 2024 started. The lawsuits just kept piling up like dead weight. More and more people came forward, accusing Diddy of everything from abuse to sex trafficking and racketeering. The man who once rapped, "Can't nobody hold me down," was now drowning in lawsuits. All of it was slippery like trying to grab a bottle of baby oil with no cap. But Cassie's lawsuit wasn't the only one that got attention. There was another one that caught the public's eye fast. Rodney, Lil Rod Jones, Dize's former producer, spent over a year in Diddy's tight circle helping him create music. Then he blew everything up with a massive 73-page lawsuit, made all the other claims look small by comparison. The lawsuit included disturbing details alleging that Diddy drugged people's drinks, filmed people without consent, and ran a criminal operation under the cover of a music business. During those late-night studio sessions, Diddy and Lil Rod supposedly recorded some disgusting things. We're not just talking about the music. While most of the lawsuit focused on Diddy's actions, there was a footnote on page 13 that said, "Social media on fire." It mentioned a Philadelphia rapper who had dated Nicki Minaj and allegedly had a sexual relationship with Diddy. The name was blacked out. It didn't take long for people to guess who it might be. All signs pointed to Meek Mill. Within hours, people on the internet pulled up old clips of Meek and Diddy together. The daddy pool video, the matching outfits, the endless photos of them hanging out. This time people weren't laughing at them like two close friends. Now they were looking at everything through a new and uncomfortable lens. People joked that Diddy was the dominant one in whatever was going on. Even Nicki's old comment from 2020 about undercover brothers blew up again online. Fans now believed she had been trying to warn everyone the whole time. And now everyone was watching to see if she would spill more secrets. Nicki's comment hit harder because of who she was in Meek's life. She had been his girlfriend during the same years. It was getting close to Diddy. So she knew things the public didn't. Meek tried to clear his name quickly after the accusations hit the web. He started tweeting things that were clearly meant to show he was straight. One post said he had sex twice a day whenever he had a woman around. Then he followed it up by saying he was a real gangster, and he threatened anyone who joked about his manhood. Everyone except Diddy, apparently. But instead of helping, these tweets made him look worse. People online saw his posts as desperate, not convincing, and once the internet smelled blood, it turned into a full-on roast session. Fans started making fake AI songs using Meek's voice, lyrics about what he supposedly did with Diddy. Dream chasers, I hope they forgive me for what I did with Denny. Real forever, the king of Philly. Memes started popping up everywhere, each one more savage than the last. One went viral showing Meek and Diddy on a fake movie poster called Diddy Diddy Bang Bang. Dirty. Spin on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Another called them the Booty Brothers. Meek's dream of being a bad boy suddenly turned into a public nightmare, and his comment sections were flooded with jokes he couldn't fight back against. People used Diddy-themed puns to troll him. They dared him to keep tweeting if you're gay. But the worst hit came when an audio clip leaked online. It was two men going at it hard, and everyone claimed it was Meek and Diddy, the kind of tracks you'd never see on the Billboard charts. But the trolling didn't just come from random internet users. Soon, real celebrities started piling on, turning this into more than just a meme war. It became an industry-wide roast session, the kind you'd expect at one of Diddy's wild parties. The first celebrity to speak up was none other than Andrew Tate. The alpha male influencer didn't wait long to take a shot. Right after the Diddy and Meek rumors broke, Tate reposted an old tweet of his, saying famous people are all gay and weird. That's rich coming from a guy who once called himself the most famous man in the world. But okay. Meek clapped back, bringing up Tate's own legal troubles involving sex trafficking. But Tate didn't back down. He said he was just asking questions that everyone else was already thinking. Which is funny, considering Tate spends most of his time shirtless with his good-looking brother. By May, Meek had enough. He thought he was making a smart move when he unfollowed Diddy on Instagram. But instead, people saw it as a silent confession. It triggered a whole new round of mockery. And just like a Diddy party, once the goodies arrive, the celebrity. Roasting turned up Soulja Boy, who already had beef with Meek over a producer, didn't hold back. He dropped a brutal tweet that had the whole internet laughing. His timing was perfect or terrible for Meek. He was trying to escape the drama, and Soulja reminded everyone exactly why he couldn't. A few days later, Soulja went on Instagram, lived to apologize for something else involving Metro Boomin, but somehow circled back to Meek again. Meek Mill, mind your business. Ain't Diddy playing in your booty hole? Why are you all up in my way? While Meek was busy fighting off trolls online, his longtime enemy got involved too. Because if there's one person who's been on Meek's case nearly as much as Diddy, it's DJ Academics. The media personality and live streamer had been beefing with Meek since 2017. Back then, Meek accused Academics of not promoting his music. By 2020, Meek was trying to cancel Academics completely. He even threatened to greenlight him. But when a guy who's supposedly being assaulted by men starts threatening others, when you know it's getting messy, Academics took that threat seriously and reportedly called the cops. Just remember, he said Meek Mill is a total hypocrite. You got problems with 6ix9ine but won't face him. Got beef with Nicki's new man butt, won't step up. You got issues with Nicki butt? Stay quiet. And now you want to bully me? Nah, I'm not here to be anyone's punching bag. If you're gonna act tough, keep it real and stop snitching on yourself. Because when you say you're sending hits, I'm sending that straight to the police, bro. When the Diddy Meek drama exploded in 2024, Academics saw his big chance. As soon as Lil Rod's lawsuit hit the internet, he was live on Twitch. He read through the entire 73-page legal document, page by page. When he reached the footnote about the Philly rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, he stopped scrolling and made the connection out loud. Mr. Combs told Mr. Jones he had sex with Rapper 5 that name's blacked out. Rapper 5 is from Philly. And he dated Nicki Minaj. Yo, Meek, we were clowning around at Michael Rubin's house. If you don't go on Twitter with one of your famous rants saying, you're gonna get Lil Rod killed, shoot up his block, or blow his mama's house up. This lawsuit says you and Diddy were getting busy. Academics turned into a full-blown prosecutor. He roasted Meek for tweeting about everything except the one thing everyone wanted to hear about. The Diddy allegations. Yo, Meek, this ain't the time to talk about street switches. They want to know if you're switching something else. Not gonzo sexuality. He wasn't done. Started pulling up every tweet, every picture, every video of Meek and Diddy together. Asterisk, remember the pool video? What happened there? Oh yeah, Meek. Belly flopping. The fries in the lap? Nah, that was wild. You doing it, man? You deserve it, Daddy. Matching outfits? What was that? This is giving daddy-son vibes for real. The Twitch stream racked up millions of views. Over 400,000 people watched it on YouTube. Clips from it spread like wildfire on social media. What started as a small footnote had now turned into a full-blown hip-hop scandal, and Academics was leading the charge. This is where things got even more intense. Meek warned Academics to stop mentioning his name. He posted vague threats about what would happen if they ever ran into each other in person, but Academics didn't. Back off. He flipped the situation on Meek and said the reason Meek was mad was because the rumors about his sexuality might actually be true. Then it turned into an online war. Academics called Meek washed up. Meek fired back. They kept trading shots online for weeks. By March, Academics claimed police had shown up at his house and said it was Meek who called them, which is pretty ironic since Meek built his whole image around being anti-snitch. Later that month, Meek apparently had enough and blocked Academics on X, formerly Twitter. But Academics declared victory instantly, boasting that he had out-tweeted the man once known as Twitter Fingers. The internet roasted Meek for getting clowned by a media guy. The streets weren't feeling this L at all. But even though Meek could block Academics, he couldn't block out millions of people still mocking him and calling him Diddy's alleged booty call. February and September 2024, the jokes slowed down at times. But every new update in Diddy's legal mess brought the heat back. In March, federal agents raided Diddy's homes. They found a suspicious amount of baby oil. Suddenly, Meek was back at the center of the memes. Then an alleged list of people who joined Diddy's freak-offs leaked online. Meek was named as a VIP guest in September, when Diddy got hit with trafficking and racketeering charges. Anyone who had ever breathed the same air as him was back under the microscope, especially Meek. The internet brought all the old footage. Back the pool video, the matching fits, the birthday party clips. People clowned him again this time, saying Diddy had allegedly clapped his cheeks. And this time, Meek tried a new defense. Blame it on a conspiracy. He posted screenshots of his notification feed, acting like it was evidence in court. He said bots were running a coordinated attack on him and other powerful figures. Who they were, he didn't say. By September 24th, Meek went full tinfoil hat. He offered $100,000 in cash to anyone who could prove why his name kept getting linked to Diddy. But this desperate move only made him look worse and gave other celebrities more ammo to roast him. One of the first to jump in, 50 Cent. He's been clowning Diddy for months over these allegations. So of course, he didn't miss the chance to go after Meek too. 50 posted an AI video of Meek and Diddy in wigs, mocking Meek for trying to buy his way out of a mess he helped create. Even lesser-known celebs joined the pylon. Actor Julito McCullum responded to Meek's $100,000 tweet with a viral photo of him and Diddy, TWINNING. At this point, it was clear. The more Meek tried to deny everything, the more proof people found that their relationship was different. On November 19th, a new piece of the puzzle came out. Footage from Meek's 27th birthday party in 2014 was posted by the Daily Mail. The party was hosted by Diddy himself. Diddy had rented a fancy mansion called the Parisian Palace. For $25,000, he threw a wild party for Meek with dancers and masks, women in lingerie, and sushi served off naked models. The property manager said the scene was disgusting. There was white powder everywhere, blood on the sheets, and lube on the floors and dressers. And let's be clear, marble floors absorb liquids. You really don't want baby oil dripping on those? These were not the kind of party. Details you want out in public when you're trying to deny any weird connection to Diddy. Like the other rumors, Meek denied this too. But at this point, it didn't matter. His name was already damaged, so he tried one last move. He made a video trying to cut all ties with Diddy. In the video, said, "Yo, what's up, what's up? Yeah, already Diddy gang. Meek Millie, in real life? Don't ever disrespect me. You ready? Yeah." But people weren't buying it. They remembered how he used to call Diddy his mentor, put him in his music videos, and even jumped in his pool while Diddy called him daddy. For a rapper who built his name on keeping it real, this looked faker than a $3 bill. Even Whack 100 and Loose Cannon jumped in to make fun of him. Meek Mill saying he's not Diddy gang now. It's wild, but he can't say that. When the landlord said after Meek left, there was blood and doo-doo all over the sheets. After Diddy ran through him, damn Meek, Dookie. After all those years of studio sessions, VIP lounges, and matching outfits with Daddy Diddy, now Meek wanted everyone to believe they were just casual acquaintances. But was he really just another rapper in Diddy's circle? Or was he something more? We might never know the full truth. But in hip-hop, image is everything, and the court of public opinion has already made its decision. Meek's street image has taken a major hit because of his ties to Diddy, and no amount of damage control, excuses, or conspiracy theories has helped. That Diddy's Boy label is still stuck on him today, and it pops up when he least expects it, thanks to the internet's forever memory and hip-hop's love for scandal and deep homophobia. This shadow might follow Meek for the rest of his life, which just goes to show you can beat court cases, survive beefs, and fight through the industry. But you can't outrun the bad choices you made or the wild parties you went to. And even if none of it's true, the damage is already done. Meek Mill may never recover from the fallout of being linked to the diddler.